a great turnout, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Especially those that came from out of town. I also want to thank everyone for the use of their tables and chairs and the help they gave me to set this up. So thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine.
This is not only a celebration of life, but it's a celebration of family, postal family. And it's nice to see that we all came together in honor of our lost ones. I have to start out by telling you that there is no smoking or open container policy at this park. And I was supposed to do this before we even started eating. So to work with this, there's a table set up with ashtrays in the yard. That will be the smoking area. Hopefully you'll find it comfortable. Also, right inside the fence to the left is an area for your ice chest if you brought an adult beverage. I also provided red Solo cups for the beverage so you can come back to the park. There are also trash cans everywhere marked for bottles, plastic bottles, cans, and garbage. And there is a restroom in the pool house, so we should be covered. I had a lot of people wanting to donate. I got to the point that I had to come up with something, so what I did was I made a basket for donations and set it on the food table. If you want to donate, feel free. Some people didn't feel comfortable with that and came to see me personally. But by no means should you feel obligated to donate. I did this from my heart, not my wallet. So let's continue. I know that there is one or more people in this group that we are honoring today that has a special meaning to you for one reason or another. Because of COVID, none of these people were allowed a funeral that we would go to. As far as I'm concerned, and I hope you feel the same way, we should not send them quietly into this good night. These were all good people and they deserve to be celebrated, not forgotten. I'm sincerely hoping that you took the time to think about these people and you found something funny, sad, interesting, or just nice about one of them. If you have something but don't want to stand up in front of everyone, then we have Ray Bull as our MC over there. Who would be more than happy to read it for you. Don't hesitate to ask. It's not like he's going to say no. I would now like to turn this over to Pastor Ike Riley so he can start us off with a prayer and a few words about our friends. Then we will go to Ray Bull and then finish with our stories. And to answer, well, okay. Ike?
Avis Richter. Sunrise, February 26, 1930. Sunset, December 19th, 2020. Richard Steve Vika. Sunrise, December 28th, 1933. Passed away. Sunset, December 28th, 2020. Jerry Wayne Lovell. Passed away January 2nd, 2021. Sunrise was February 19th, 1938. Gina Calhoun. Sunrise was July 22nd, 1962. Sunset, January 3rd, 2021. Julietta Mendoza Hughes. Sunrise, March 3rd, 1951. Sunset, January 7th, 2021. Ron Wojcicki. Sunrise, September 29th, 1940. Sunset, January 18th, 2021. People we're honoring today, as it was said, didn't get a chance to be honored during the COVID lockdowns. These were individuals that were loved, worked with, shared many things with, and they will be greatly missed. Celebrated being hired through the post office, celebrated being retired from the post office, celebrated many awards throughout their careers, celebrated the birth of children, celebrated the marriage of children, celebrated many things along the line with their postal families, and many joys that were shared. We in the Postal Service have gone through quite a bit, since I've been at the post office. I mean, when I first started, we had lots of suicides. We had murder-suicides, but that too did pass. When I first started, we had the anthrax scare that scared everybody. When people were wearing the gloves, they was afraid of the powder on the envelopes. That too did pass. We had the 9/11 attacks and turned postal workers into FFA workers concerning what packages that could be sent through the mail. That too did pass. All that we've experienced has come and gone. And now we have this COVID thing, whether it was a natural situation that brought it about or was man collaborated. This too will eventually pass. And so, man that is born of the woman, the scripture teaches us, is of a few days and full of troubles. But while he is here, he can recognize the fact that there is one that has already covered all grounds of life, past, present, and future, and has made a way for him to be received up into glory. Winston Churchill had planned his funeral, and he had planned his funeral to take place at St. Paul's Cathedral. And he chose many of the famous hymns, earlier hymns of the church, and he included the angelic liturgy to be spoken over his body. At his direction, there was a bugler in one of the high points of the dome of the St. Paul's Cathedral. That after the benediction, that bugler would play the sound of taps. Taps is a universal signal that says the day is over. But something happened moments later. A dramatic turn had taken place at Churchill's direction. That after taps was played, there was another bugler on the opposite side of this great dome who started to sound off on reveille, which means it's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's time to get up in the morning. That became Churchill's testimony that at the end of history, he recognized that the final note would not be taps, but it would be reveille. It's time to get up in the morning. I said all that just to say this, that the worst things in life are never the last things in life. Where sin abounds, God's grace does much more abound. We are here, all of us, with a choice to make as we live and as we die. There will be, make no mistake about it, a resurrection unto life, eternity, and there also will be a resurrection unto death, eternity. Mankind has been placed here to make his choice. where he will spend eternity. The choice belongs to everyone. No one's going to be forced. God made mankind a free moral agent to choose who you believe. Reading out of Psalms 91, it says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, which is my fortress and my refuge, my God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snares of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. 1,000 may fall by thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge and my fortress, thy habitation. Therefore shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any pestilence come near thy dwelling." God bless you all. At this time we have Rainbow.
You're going to have to forgive me today. I've kind of lost my voice.
I'm kidding you.
Welcome, everyone. Many of you may or may not know me, but I'm Ray Bull, better known as City 28. We are... Come on. We are here today not to mourn the loss of so many of our postal family, but to celebrate their life and lift them up. When I'm finished, I would like anyone who wishes to share a memory or story to please do so. If you have written something but feel embarrassed to share, I would be more than happy to read it for you. Of course, you may not want that today. You know, I speak from the heart when I say I was saddened to read the passing of so many friends, so soon and so close together. We lost 6 in 4 months. COVID-19 prevented many of us from attending their services. This is why we are here today. I worked with these people for 30 years. That's 30 years of memories and interactions with them. I valued them as co-workers and friends, just like all of you here today are my friends. I love you all. Maybe some more than others. Just saying. You know, I looked at Avis as a mother of all of us. She kind of kept us in check. And there was Richard Vica, known as the Silver Fox, always checking the stock markets to see how his investments were doing. Then there was Jerry Lovell, who grew up with my brother-in-law, Dwight Mitchell, back in Arkansas. And I didn't know this till just a few years ago when I run into Jerry at the farmer's market. Then there was Aunt Julie, Aunt Mary, and the wife of retired letter carrier Ken Hughes, who's no longer with us. Ron Walczewski, who was a clerk turned letter carrier, said to heck with that, went into work in postal maintenance in Marysville. The husband of Gloria Rochesky, who was also a road carrier in her office. Gina Calhoun, an outstanding letter carrier until an injury forced her into the clerk craft. Boy, the carrier craft really missed a good gal, where she excelled as a clerk up until her passing. And just recently, some may know, some may not know, George Egling. He was a custodian at the Marysville post office, and he worked out of hours sometimes. You know, I could tell many stories of these individuals, but I wish for you to share yours. They will never be forgotten by us and will forever be in our hearts. Okay, I'd like for anyone who would like to say anything to please come forward. If not, at the moment, Bill, was you moving your chair?
I was.
Okay. To come
Nobody-
forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't want to. My name's Bill Elliott, and
Who?
Bill E. Bob Elliott.
Billy Bobby.
And all those people I knew, and they're all legends in their right mind. I have many, just like Ray, experiences with these guys. Ray told everything about me. Richard Vika would give me advice on stock market. I always wanted to grow up and be like him. They called him Mr. Vika in Sierra Central. He would be reading the Wall Street Journal during lunch. Avis, of course, was the mother. She was the mother of the post office, period, in the subject. Gina Calhoun. You couldn't ask for a better person. I mean, she was a good person. She was nice. And that doesn't come easy in the postal service at the front window. But I think after 25 years of knowing her, since she was probably 20 when she started, probably saw her mad twice. And me. And then there's Julie. I have a really good story about Julie because I was a 204B back in 90-something. I don't know what it was. But everybody was getting ready to retire. Huh?
It was 93.
It was 93.
You hired me.
Yeah, I did. I hired Mary and I hired Julie all at the same time. And they came to realize they were grunts. They were casuals. They did what everybody didn't want to do. And they did it. And they did it proudly. And I'm looking at Mary. She's the poster child of somebody that went from here up.
And like this.
I didn't say that. But Julie, here's one of the good stories. I was the supervisor, okay? She would always look at me when I went parcel post relay. Because finally she started saying, I know. And so the flood came, we got evacuated. We stayed at Julie's house. She opened up her doors for me and Kim and the kids. And one night, we brought the case of beer out. She did. And I helped her. And I helped her a lot. And we were talking outside, and she started telling me, Bill, she wasn't even working there then. It was Ken. remember all those times that you made me do all that? I said, yeah, Julie, I mean, you did a heck of a good job. And she said, boop, and doubled me over. And I went, I deserve it. So, nice seeing all y'all.
Good job, Bill. Some of our former employees emailed Lorraine some comments. This one's from Sue Fry. Although it's been 20 years since I left the Yuba City Post Office, I have so many happy memories of my time there. I made many friends who are still friends this day. Many personalities have come and gone with the inevitable passing of time. I remember Dwight Mitchell. He was such a lovely, funny man. Avis Richter, she was always keeping us girls in line. Gina Calhoun, gone too soon. I'm so glad I got to see Gina when I came back for a visit in 2018. We went bowling and came to a party held for me. Gina had the kindest nature, had a smile for everyone, and she loved animals. I also remember being in awe of her when she used to drive that big old truck out of the dock in Yuba City. Wishing you all peace and love from the UK as you remember your friends who are no longer with us. This one's from Irene Guzman. This sucks, man. Hello, everyone. I thank you for being here. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I had a prior engagement, and this was scheduled for the same weekend.
Her son got married.
Huh?
Her son got married. She didn't want to tell anybody, I guess.
Oh, okay. What can I say about Gina? She was one of a kind, trustworthy, loyal, and in all of my working years, I have never known a more harder working individual than Gina. She was a non-stop, get-her-done individual. I would truly miss her smile. She wore it well all the time, and she made me laugh all the time. Thank you all for being here to celebrate her moving to a better life. Our Lord has big plans for her. Love you always, Miss Gina. You will be missed. And we have one more here from Melanie Cunningham. There comes a time when we might say something about someone we have known. The things we remember about these people are what makes our lives more colorful. I was very surprised to hear about Gina's passing away. She will always be to me the energetic, vibrant person I always saw her to be. She seemed unstoppable, running constantly on some unseen propulsion. The radiance that shined through her made her look like her feet hardly touched the ground. She had a very bright spirit. Mark Vica was a man who represented the word well. Some people said his life started out rocky. That really is no difference than any of us. Life is full of choices and mistakes. As one pastor said, life is a journey of falling down and getting up. Falling down and getting up. Falling down and getting up. All the way to heaven. What amazed me about Mark was how he represented his belief as it is written. Put on the full armor of God. Mark always dressed neatly, and even when I saw him in the hospital, his hair was neatly styled. In the morning at work, before we clocked on the time clock, he would sit on the side reading the Bible. Maybe some people didn't like that, but he was true to the word, having put on the whole armor of God, and after having done all, he was still able to stand. I remember Jerry Lovell hanging out with Soapy and Art at the donut shop. It was a comforting feeling to see the group spending time together. It kind of took me back to a gentler time in life where people cared about their co-workers and they meant more to each other than just a good morning and have a good day. It was a bond of a few men who shared life's experiences alongside each other. It was nice to visit with a few minutes with these men and in some kind of a way feel a part of his blood bond they so gratefully shared between themselves and the others that have shared their lives in one way or another with us. Thank you for giving them all a moment of honor for the time they gave to be a part of our life. Here we have it. This is a cordless mic. I can pass it through the crowd if anyone would like to say something. Here's Stu. Let's see if it works from here.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll give you a little bit for free.
Hey, knock, knock.
Hi, everyone probably knows who I am, Stuart Kitchen, along with Karen and Deborah in the blue over there. We are the last holdouts of the Yuba City Post Office. And so, Todd's in Marysville, though.
But he delivered Yuba City.
that are still in Yuba City. And it's always been our job to keep the memories going of all the people that have come through and to share it with the next wave of people that are coming through. And I've had the honor of working with everybody that's been mentioned today. A lot of them I knew when I just started at the post office as a kid. And early on, I got the opportunity to be a 204B. And it's tough sometimes as a 204B to have to tell somebody that 20 plus years of a postal experience what to do or what to say. But all these people treated me well and gave me the respect and made my job a little bit easier as a 204B. And I appreciate that. And they were all good people. But I'm up here today because I just wanted to say something about the one person that I worked with the longest, who I had the fortune of working right up to the end with, and that's Gina. And I know when Karen broke the news to us at work, I was just floored, because here's somebody that's only a couple years younger than me, but yet had the attitude and lived the life of a 30-year-old. Had a great postal attitude, and we can all be jaded sometimes, but she never was jaded with the attitude. And like Bill had said, she hardly ever got mad. I know she never liked really working the window that much, but when she got up there, she gave it her best and made an impression. And I don't really realize the impression that she made until after she passed away. I would say up at the window, and I work half the time up at the window, that in the ever since she passed away, a week doesn't go by where I have at least 2 or 3 people come to my window, and I'm only up there half the time, and make a comment about Gina, whether they miss her smile and her enthusiasm, or sometimes they'll just say, whatever happened to the blonde girl down the couple booths from you? And then I have to unfortunately break the news to them, and they're devastated when they hear that news. But here's 3 or 4 months afterwards, and she's still leaving an impression. And I even have had people come to me at Winco, at Walgreens, and ask about her. So I know that she left an impression. And my only hope is, and I know that these others left an impression, and a lot of you left an impression on me over the 30 plus years I've been at Yuba City, that we all can leave an impression like we did with Gina. So in closing, I just wanted to say, with Gina, I always remember 3 phrases that she always said. Whenever she met someone up at the window that she knew, she would always say, "Hey, girly. Hey, girly. Girly girl." Or if it was some guy that she, a new family member or something, she'd say, "Hey, buddy boy, how you doing?" And then the last one, we worked a lot of Saturdays together, and when we got done, she would always say, "Alrighty then, we're done." And I find myself saying, "Alrighty then," and just because she always said it that way. And I think that's all I have to say, but it was nice, and I hope I get a chance to say hi to everybody. And I'm going to answer a question that already a few people have asked me. I probably won't be retiring till next year. So I'm not retiring yet. We're going to keep the bond going. Me, Karen, Deborah, we're going to keep UPC going as long as we possibly can and keep those memories of you guys around as long as we can. Thank you.
Lorraine, is that it? Anyone else? I'd like to extend a thank you to Lorraine for putting this doing this. Oh, you got some more stuff to read? Who's reading it? Oh, okay, good.
Oh my God, that's so wrong.
You know how bees go to honey? Managers go to the same table.
That's not funny, Ray. You got to move the podium. I know.
He holds it up here like I'm a... Hello? I'm going to talk about Gina here for a second. Anyone that knew Gina knew that she was an animal person. She loved her animals, from her dogs to her horses. There was one time when we took our dogs to a training class out at Eva College because it was taught by Donna Myers. She was the canine handler for the sheriff's department. So we thought this would be cool to do. So she took her dog and I took mine. When we got to class, we all had to spread out. She went behind me with her dog. There was a rather large white dog in front of me. I still have nightmares. Well, this dog in front of me decided it did not like the dog next to him and started a fight. They backed up right towards me, and to get out of the way, I backed up right into Gina's dog's mouth. Bit me right in the butt. Yep. Well, she felt...
got a big mouth.
Go.
Got something for you, Ray. Well, she felt so bad that the next day when I got to my case, there on the ledge was a cup of coffee and a muffin with a note that said, I can't remember the dog's name, so we'll call it Princess. Princess and I are very sorry. But that's the kind of person she was. And that is the Gina we all remember. And now Avis. When I started working with Avis, it was in the box section. That's where I met Jamie. That was my husband. He came to the call window every day to pick up the mail for the school district. Have to admit that I looked forward to that. I would also see him in King Avenue School while he was delivering their mail from the district office, and I was picking up my kids. Have to say, I thought he was cute. One day I told Avis that I thought he was cute, and she said, why don't you ask him out? And I said, I don't even know his name or anything. She said, tell him that we're guessing his age and we need to see his license to see who is right. She said, then you can get all his info. I thought, I don't know. So when he came up to the window, I said, Avis and I are betting on how old you are, and I need to see your license to see who is right. I have money riding on this. So as he was reaching into his back pocket for his wallet, he said to me, are you interested or just curious? And that's where the story began. I have to stop and thank Avis, because if it wasn't for her, I probably would have lost the chance of spending a life with Jamie. So thank you, Avis, for 28 years of marriage. Next, anybody? Come on, you guys must have thought of something.
So what did you answer, Lorraine? Did you say you were interested or curious?
About how she would ride the cart.
John Batch knows better about that.
John, do you want to tell us about that?
About what?
Gina riding the cart around the post office?
What?
Bring him the mic.
I can't recall.
Oh, yeah. Here's the mic. Start recalling.
Well,
It's on.
I really didn't come to say anything. I just came to remember. But of all those years, I worked in the Yuba City Post Office. I started out as a carrier. And then I went to a clerk. Then I went to 204B, then supervisor, and then I finally made postmaster. And I did military too, but those years at the post office is something I truly remember. But one person I really remember was Gina, because I had nothing but fun with her. Much as we made jokes, messed with her, gave her a fake letter of warning. She got all upset. She went to Karen. Karen was in with it too. Then we had to tell her it wasn't. You know, we were just playing around, and she got mad at everybody. But Gina was the best person I remember. I have fun with Gina every day. But I never got a chance to tell you guys that those 20 years that I was at the Yuba City Post Office, I really appreciate it. Working with all you guys made my life great, and I still think about the memories. You guys really made it great. In spite of Shanine and Cliff and Karen and Joshy. Yeah, but I really love you guys. I miss you guys. Especially Slim over here. He was Slim when I first met him. So here's Shanine.
You must have grew up with him as a kid.
It doesn't go in your mouth.
Me? Is it on? Sorry, I wasn't really prepared to talk or give a speech, but yeah, my name is Shani. For people that don't know me,
It's not an AA meeting.
well, okay, thank you, Mary. Things never change, huh? I feel like I'm having a stand-up right now. Yeah, the other five, I kind of knew who they were. I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with them, but one person that I did was Gina. We started out as being carriers, and I think we were probably two of the best carriers in the office at the time. But just like what everybody said about Gina, I mean, she would come to work. I mean, just big old smile on her face every morning. I mean, just kind of brighten up your life. I mean, your day. You know, when you see her, you'd never see her mad or sad or maybe angry once in a while at John, but I think everybody got mad at John once in a while, but yeah, I mean, I was just like all of you guys. I was really shocked when I heard the news, and kind of sad, but yeah, that's about it.
No, don't give it to Sean. She'll be there forever.
Yeah, she getting up. All right, Gina.
Oh, you can hear that. Hi, everybody. I am Karen Ramming. I am the current postmaster of Yuba City. I was a supervisor there for many, many, many years, but thanks to John Batch, he finally left to let other people get promoted. And so now I'm promoted. But being the supervisor there, I've got to meet so many of you guys and so many other people too. And a lot of these people, well, a few of them, I got to know who they were, but Gina's the one I really have to talk about because I got to work with her a whole lot. Talk about a hardworking, awesome person. So I'm pretty much kind of echoing what everybody's already said about her. And not only just being a hard worker, she was a fun, funny person. So I remember there was this one Saturday morning as a supervisor, I go into work and there's just this rock music blaring. And I go in and there is Gina, Jazz, and Irene, and with their clerk shirts that are like button-up blouses, they've got them tied in a knot up in the middle of their chest, and they're just rocking out to music, working. And I'm walking in, and I'm like, well, they're working. They're working. Music's so loud, they didn't hear me come in, so go ahead, keep working. But I was working up in the district consumer affairs office, and I'm just always flipping through different jobs. When I saw the opportunity of coming to Yuba City and applying to be the postmaster, I jumped on that so quick because I know everybody here. I knew everybody already working at the office. This is amazing community, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna go work with some really, really good people. Little did I know, after a few months being there, being 53 years old, I was the youngest one. And so we always joke about we're going to be retiring all together at the same time. What is the post office going to do? But we weren't worried about that. So last year was like one of the most hectic, crazy years in the post office with the census, COVID, the elections. So here we all were high-fiving that this is going to be our last political election, well, presidential political election, because we're going to be retired after that. And then who knew a couple months later, Gina would be gone. And when she was sick and she was out, I'm sending her text messages every day. And we know Gina used to do like a lot of roping and horse racing and barrel racing, and my granddaughter does that. So I'm sending her just pictures, just kind of keeping her spirits up. And she would text me back, but there was like a couple days I hadn't heard anything, and I thought, okay, well, maybe she's just resting. And then I got the text, and it said, hi Karen, it's Barbara, Gina's sister. But by now we've texted so many times I knew who Barbara was. And she was like, I'm just sorry to tell you that our sweet Gina passed away. And I lost it. I just completely lost it because that was the last thing that I was expecting. So I'm like out in the parking lot talking to Barbara, you know, just totally losing it. And I'm just like, I have to tell my people, you know. And I think as a manager, that has to be the hardest thing to do when you're so close to that person, also to have to break this news to people. And I don't know if many of you guys have been in the Yuba City Post Office lately, how long the lines are. And I'm sitting there thinking, I got to find the right moment to tell them, but I can't just stop the line. And then all of a sudden, there was just nobody in the office except for one person filling out their address label. And I said, thank you, God, this is the moment, you know. And we still didn't have a lot of people in the lobby, so it gave them also time to actually process the news that I had to give them. And then Stuart was over at the other office, so I'm like, don't say nothing, I'm going to tell him. And I called Stuart, and it's like, how long are you going to be over there? He goes, oh, probably about another 15, 20 minutes. Don't leave, I'm on my way, you know. And I didn't want to worry him about anything, but I went over there, broke the news to him, and that was hard also, you know, because I love all my people just dearly. And like I said, that's one of the hardest things to do, because now, as a leader, manager, you got to be strong. You got to be strong and say, we're going to get through this, we're going to get through this. But internally, you're still trying to process it yourself. So I just thank every day that I had with her. Every day. I thank every day that I have with my co-workers now. You know, I never look at myself as being a postmaster or title up here. We're all co-workers, we're all equal, and we're all here to do the same job. So thank you guys for all coming out, you know. I had something planned, but I was like, this is so much more important because this is family. This is my family. So good seeing you guys. Thank you. Wrong side.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know working with all of you was the highlight of my life. You know, the stuff we used to do back in the day at the office would get us all fired and put in jail today. And you know what I'm talking about. I remember one time I came in and Gina was casing the mail. But you could go around behind the mail case and look down, and you could see Gina's little skinny white legs sticking out down there. I went down there and I reached underneath that mail case and grabbed them legs. She chased me around that office for 20 minutes. She was... I remember another time I came in, and there was a clerk over at a hamper, all bent down inside that hamper, and his big butt was sticking up there, and I just walked by and just popped it. Boy, she come up out of that hamper and said, "Ray Bull." Well, if you did that today, man, you'd go to jail. So, anyway, this isn't about me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Here we go.
None of you know me, but my name is... Can you hear me? Okay, my name is Janet Bauer, and I'm a local girl. I was born and raised in Marysville, and I've been married Artwood here since high school.
Just tip it like this.
I have known Artwood since high school.
Man, this microphone's like a bunch of postal workers. It's not working.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, my name is Janet Bauer. I was born and raised here, went to Yuba City High School, and I was in school with Art Wood. And we were both widowed and got together at Rayleigh's one time, and we've been in the band together back in '52, and we were both widowed, and he said, would you go out to dinner or lunch with me? And I thought, well, you know, I know him pretty well. We have some of the same interests and friends. So I said, sure. And I thought, he'll never call. And I gave him my number, and he thought, she won't go out if I do call. Well, that was almost 7 years ago. And I'm happy to say that Art and I enjoy each other's company, and we look out for each other, and great companions. And someone's got to take care of him, and why not me? And one more thing. Linda Buchanan did not feel well today and couldn't come, but she said to send her greetings and her sympathy for those lost. And I met Linda through Art, and we've had some fun times together, and she's a dear person. So anyway, thank you for inviting me today. I've enjoyed it, and I love to see the camaraderie and hear the stories, because I know some of these people. Avis was a good friend of mine, and Jerry Lovell came to coffee with Art and Soapy and I, and so I feel at home. Thank you very much.
Lorraine, anything else? You did a good job. You did a good job. Well, I guess we'll conclude. We could have a raffle real quick. We'll pass out some tickets, and we need 5 winners to clean all this up. So, with that said, thank you for coming out.